Summer and peak season for the staff at Turkish Airlines. Shifting 173,000 passengers each day, it's their toughest time of year. And for the first time, Turkish Airlines has allowed cameras behind the scenes to see how their 40,000 staff cope with arguments, to keeping on schedule, from in-flight secrets,
I think I might take a little nap and then maybe watch a movie.
To illegal passengers.
What is that? Are you coming from Cyprus, sir? No, this is not enough. I'm asking about your country.
Running an international airline is a huge challenge. During peak season, it's like playing three-dimensional chess. Situated at the nexus where Europe, the Middle East and Africa meet, Istanbul is a transportation hub. Central to that is Ataturk Airport, where 80,000 passengers begin their journeys every day. Ataturk is home to Turkish Airlines, which flies to 108 countries, more than any other airline in the world. During the peak holiday season, weekends bring the busiest travel days of the year.
Our next intermediate alternate
Hours.
We'll just receive all their information for the flight. Everything looks suitable. Looks like it's going to be a fairly smooth flight down to Sao Paulo.
Captain Hakan Turgut is part Turkish pilot, part Aussie adrenaline junkie.
I've had three big passions in my life, you know, one being motorcycles, flying and boxing the other, and I was just quite fortunate to make a career out of flying. So it looks like everything's in place, so...
Hakan's flying 6,500 miles today. He has to be ready for anything. Lives are in his hands.
Going over the Atlantic, there's some little cloud build-up there which could affect us a little bit. If there's anything unusual built up, we'll try to deviate around it, just to make sure that we're doing a safe flight.
Good morning again.
The pilots will be accompanied by 17 cabin crew.
Is there anyone who is going first to Sao Paulo? It's your first time?
There's a new mix of crew. It's Banu Ozansoy's job to make sure they work together as a team.
Every day we fly with a different crew, and nobody knows each other. And as a cabin chief, I have to manage the relations between cabin crew or between passengers, and the relation with cockpit, the cabin crew. So I have to see everything in the aircraft. Hande is number 8. She's going to work in business class.
Even though she's 2 years from retirement, Banu doesn't feel it.
It keeps me young every day, because you are working with young people and you are facing with different people. Because every flight is different, like for me, you know.
Before they head off, Banu offers up a top tip on customer service.
What is important for me to face with the passenger? When we smile, when we make them feel that they are important for us, there will be no problem. I've been flying for 21 years and I can see this, okay? Okay, thank you for listening to me.
But down at the check-in desks, a passenger might soon be in need of more than a smile.
Do you know what overbook means? Overbooking. Because of the civil aviation rules, all airlines companies are selling more than the configuration of the plane. Right now we don't have any available seats, unfortunately.
Airlines routinely overbook flights because of the number of passengers who no-show.
Ya da bir tane şey yap, bir uçak dolu yap, hani gönder bana.
When everyone does show up, Merve Tashbash deals with the fallout.
Sometimes they are saying to me, why are you smiling? I cannot fly and you are smiling on me. And sometimes they are saying to my colleagues, who's the best one? Smiling or not smiling?
This passenger thought he was about to go to Los Angeles. Merve needs to bump him to tomorrow.
If you want to be a volunteer, I will give for this situation €600 for compensation, plus hotel, and plus tomorrow's boarding passes.
Okay.
If you want that.
I would prefer not to.
You want it or not?
No, thank you.
Not gonna happen on account of what's in his luggage.
It's my buddy Captain. He goes everywhere with me. We've been in the northeastern part of the country for 2 months now, and we're trying to go home.
Merva's now got a problem. She'll need to persuade a passenger who's already checked in to surrender their seat.
For him, I must do volunteer because he has priority, because he has a dog.
Merva's priority is getting passengers on a plane, but for some, it's about keeping passengers off them. While immigration officials check the passports of everyone arriving, in departures, Turkish Airlines check everyone leaving.
We are checking the passport information, we are checking the visa rules, visa expiry, validity, and signature.
Murat Ulmez is one of 33 visa checkers.
Guten Tag.
He's had a tip-off that 2 people may be trying to illegally board this flight to Austria.
We are waiting some suspect situation at the gate on the flight. When we meet with the suspect passengers, we have to decide in 2 minutes we have to send the passenger to the aircraft or not.
Murat's eyes and instincts are the very last line of defense. If he misses an illegal passenger, the airline could be on the hook for a fine of up to 5,000 euros.
You are on the standby. Hello? Hello. Where's your visa? Yeah, I want to see your visa.
Hello.
Do you have a return ticket? Okay. How many days are you going to stay there? 8 days. That's fine.
Murat scans the man's passport into an intelligence database. The passenger checks out.
We checked 2 passengers, 2 suspect passengers in their boarding time, but everything is okay for them. We completed. We are going to our other flight now.
He'll check around 1,000 passengers in his 8-hour shift and cover over 5 miles, which is easier on wheels.
This is a big airport. We have a short time in the operation, maybe 3 minutes, going to gate. We are using the Segway for being faster.
Hakan will be taking over a plane that's been delayed on its inbound journey. The team has only an hour to turn it around, otherwise they'll miss their designated takeoff slot. And missing it could mean a further delay waiting for another one.
But still cleaning is being done.
Not everyone's sensing the urgency.
Evet arkadaşlar başlayabilirsiniz bir an önce. This is our cabin maintenance log.
While Banu checks the log for glitches, a new one appears. The door seems jammed and won't close. If it doesn't, this plane is going nowhere. Across the airport in the hangars, mechanics work 24/7 to keep Turkish Airlines fleet in top condition.
We have some problem. For this, I have to go down.
Ayhan Uçarçan heads up a crew of highly trained mechanics. They've installed a new jet engine in this Airbus A330, a routine procedure, but on this occasion, it's caused a crack in one of the latches.
We have to fix this problem. As you see, this is a defect and found while the inspection, and now we will fix, remove, and install the serviceable one.
For mechanics working in the hangars, meticulous inspections take up much of the day. Each plane is checked weekly, daily, and then before every flight. The final inspection is done by the pilots themselves. Many airline pilots are rated to fly either Boeing or Airbus. For Hakan, it's Boeing, and today it's a 777, a plane he knows like the back of his hand.
Every 6 months we need to go into the simulator. We need to prove that we can handle the aircraft in all different kinds of conditions, with engine failures, hydraulic failures, cabin pressure problems, you name it. We have to deal with it.
Some muscle arrives to help with the rear door. All that's needed now is a little elbow grease. While up front,
It's my chef apron. It's my chef hat.
Aaron Gunkaya has found his perfect vocation.
It's unbelievable experience. My hobby is actually aircraft. My job is to be a chef. We'll be a flying chef. This came together.
Aaron's specially trained to turn out gourmet meals from this tiny, cramped kitchen.
After some experience with cooking up for us.
But just as they're about to start boarding, they find a reclining seat in business class that won't oblige.
It doesn't work, so if you just call the technicians, you're just going to come and help us to, maybe they're working on something.
There's not much time. Banu's team have 36 minutes to get 270 passengers on board, or their departure for Brazil will be delayed. At the gate for the flight to LA, Merve Tashbash still needs to persuade someone to give up their seat so the passenger with his dog can get home. It's proving a challenge.
Passengers can sometimes say to me, "No, did you ask me if you are going to overbook the flight? I want to fly. I cannot give my seat, and it's so hard for me." I will start for looking volunteer passengers.
Merve has a unique skill. She has an eye for spotting obliging travelers.
Young passengers and alone passengers want to stay mostly. I find one of them.
A single young man offers her best chance.
Hello? Are you flying to Los Angeles?
Yes.
Are you alone?
Yes.
I want to ask you something. Right now, I have a passenger who is in the standby, who has a reservation like you, but the capacity is right now full. If you want to stay for this night in Istanbul, I will give for this €600.
For this man, the offer's a no-brainer.
Okay? Then, if you're a volunteer, can I have your boarding pass? Thank you.
If I'm going to Los Angeles tomorrow, there is nothing happen to me, because my class starts next week, my university.
Mission accomplished. Merve has 3 happy customers. One with a seat on the plane,
Thank you for your understanding.
and one with €600 in his wallet.
If he did it for the money, I think he's entitled to the money, and if he did it to just be nice, then that's awesome.
And one happy dog.
I gave him some water, zip-tied his crate shut, and won't see him again for almost 20 hours probably.
It's 25 minutes until the Brazil flight is due to depart. The emergency mechanic called out to fix the reclining seat gets it moving again. It's time for the cabin crew to engage their customer service smile. Out of passengers' earshot, the pilots prepare for worst-case scenarios.
We'll only stop for 4 things: any kind of fire, engine failure, wind shear, or the inability of the aircraft to fly. After V1, as always, we'll continue.
Cabin Chief Banu Ozansoy uses a meet and greet to help avoid any trouble in the cabin.
Under my smiling face, I check them, because some passengers may come to the aircraft drunk, and they may have some psychological problems. When I see them first, I check. If I am suspicious about the passenger's behavior, I inform my cabin crew until we close the door. Okay, G, other aisle, please. Yes.
Banu's content that everyone is fit to travel and no one's behaving suspiciously.
This is the last point before we close the door.
That just completes my briefing. In addition to that, if anybody sees anything out of the ordinary, please speak up. Let's go out there and come back home safely. Are there any questions? Any questions, Michael?
Business class chef Aaron Gunkaya breaks out the first in-flight luxury: handmade chocolates.
When they are satisfied, when they like my food and service, it's like a heaven.
But the luxuries of business class have attracted an interloper. A passenger from economy tries to sneak in.
What happens? His husband is sitting in business class. His wife is in economy class. She has come to visit.
She's politely escorted back to her seat in economy. The flight to Brazil is one of 470 Turkish Airlines flights to leave Ataturk today. Pushback, and only 37 minutes late.
We're ready?
Runway 3, on right, on runway 3.
After 20 years as a pilot, Hakan has not lost the thrill of flying.
Once you actually get airborne, the freedom that you feel and the adrenaline rush you get, it doesn't feel like work. I feel like I've been retired and we get to fly this awesome machine around. I don't think life gets any better than that.
Climbing out of Istanbul, flight TK-15 begins its journey a quarter of the way around the planet. Hakan figures he can easily make up the delay en route. Back in the terminal in baggage claim, there's also a delay that needs sorting out.
Bodrum geliyor, hemen arkasına Bodrum geliyor. Hemen arkasında biraz yoğunluk.
At Ataturk Airport alone, Turkish Airlines handles some 70,000 bags each day.
Bodrum geliyor, hemen arkasına Bodrum'da biraz hava sektörleri yoğunluk var.
45 minutes.
From where? Bodrum?
With 20 flights arriving in the last hour, baggage handlers are struggling to keep up.
Half an hour, it will be quiet here. We know times, what times is quiet and what times is busy.
Self-proclaimed king of the carousels, Abdülmenef Özek helps keep the peace.
Alors, ouais, je pardais pour le Bodrum, n'est-ce pas? Maintenant c'est Izmir venir, après de Izmir, Bodrum venir. Quelques minutes, j'ai demandé pour le téléphoner avec moi. Il a dit Bodrum venir. Excusez-moi. Teşekkürler arkadaşlar. Rica etsek İV'de olabilir mi Bodrum? İV'de olabilir mi? Bodrum. Where are you from? Ça va, vous êtes français? C'est français. De quelle région? Paris. Paris. You speak French or English, German? English. English? So you speak Flemish? Heeft Nederlands spraken. Dat is een Nederlands spraken.
Multi-talented Abdülmenef believes a little lingo is all you need to pacify frustrated customers.
I speak English, French, German, Spanish, Greek, some Farsi. My nationality, I speak, is my mother language, Kurdish, I can speak Kurdish, and Turkish. Abi biraz hızlı olsun, telsizde de anonsları geç, Bodrum.
While Abdülmenef gets the baggage sorted, the Brazil flight is 2.5 hours underway. Time for flying chef Eren Gunkaya to take center stage.
I'm ready for service. I'm now preparing canapes, eggplant. Starting to prepare our main course service.
With 2 tiny ovens to finish cooking the pre-prepared meals, Eren's job is all about presentation.
When I go to the cabin, passengers look at me and they are shocked. It's really nice. It's really nice. Sometimes I'm walking in the cabin, I'm making a catwalk. I'm making eye contact with the passenger. It's really nice.
Up in the air, Eren is able to strut his stuff because he's the tip of the catering iceberg. Back at Ataturk, there's a team of 2,500 backing him up.
This is all handmade, yeah? There is no repacked products inside.
Christian Reisenegger's staff churn out airline meals in staggering numbers.
Here we are in the main production for Turkish Airlines. We are producing at the moment about 170,000 meals per day. So it's, believe it or not, but it's the biggest fresh cooking kitchen in Europe at the moment. Yeah?
Many of the meals call for a lot of ingredients. 27 tons of oranges, 5.7 tons of tomatoes, nearly 1 million hazelnuts, and 6 tons of aubergine every day. And all prepared at breakneck speed.
It's extremely fast, and everything with a knife only.
Upstairs, the bakers are dealing with a special request. Dessert for a prestigious English football team.
What kind of cake is this? Chelsea football club. Chelsea?
Yes, yes.
Hey, that's good. Flying to London, huh?
Yeah, this cupcake.
They requested this banana cake here.
Banana pie.
The banana pie, huh?
Yes.
That's cool, actually, huh? They will have joy out of us to eat this cake, yeah?
Yeah.
Not everyone gets banana pie, but Christian's meals are served in economy, where service is a little busier than up in business class.
We're doing it's like our rush time, you know, rush hour, and serving food and running orders from galleys if you need overtime.
Figan Bayer Yenna has been serving Turkish Airlines passengers for the past 4 years.
I'm going to need 2 trays at least. I'm going to the back galley.
A job that literally keeps her on her toes.
It's like 75 meters long, I think, this plane, and you get to run it for like 100 times in one flight. If you don't enjoy it, probably you're going to be done in 2 months in this job. That's what usually happens, you know. I always find things to do. That's my thinking. I don't like to stop, you know, because when you stop, you get bored.
As the autopilot, known in the industry as George, takes over, a new challenge emerges for the flight crew.
You do get a bit of boredom happening on these long flights, like today, for example, because we only have 11.5 hours of sheer board, but we do our best to keep ourselves entertained.
Pilots aren't allowed to read or use electronic devices on the flight deck, so they fall back on more traditional methods. Storytelling.
During the rainstorm, the ceiling of the lounge collapsed. It flooded the boarding lounge and it was running down the air bridge and had to close the doors of the airplane or else it would have filled with water.
George, never bored and needing no break, continues the flight to Sao Paulo. Back in the terminal, as the bags from Bodrum start to roll,
Au revoir, bon avion.
Abdul Menef spots another opportunity to employ his impressive skills.
You don't need help?
So, Which language do you speak? English, French, German, Spanish, Greek, Ruski, Drasvide, как дела? Это терминал. Да, терминал Atatürk getireyim. International это. The floor, да, direct. Да, Navier, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, internet septième. Здравствуйте. I love language. If I want to learn one language, 4 or 5 months is enough times for me. So fast.
Across the terminal, Merve Taşbaş is having a tough time.
Hanımefendi ne demek istiyorsan ben? Çağırın polisi. Çağırın polisi.
Extreme rainfall over Ataturk caused flight cancellations the day before. It's resulted in 60 overbooked passengers to process. One insists on recording every word Merve says for his lawyer, but airline rules strictly prohibit it for the protection of their staff.
İzah niye benim burada olduğumu? İyi kapatıyorum bak kapat. Hayır. Hanımefendi ne demek istiyorsan ben? Çağırın polisi. Çağırın polisi. Benim biletim nerede? Ben biletimi istiyorum.
Tamam, silerken görmem bir şey.
The recording erased and her customer calmed, Merve begins to explain the ins and outs of overbooking.
Hayır, internetten mi aldınız, acentadan mı?
İnternetten aldım.
Even in the relative tranquility of the business class lounge, there are unexpected hitches to deal with.
Şuna bakar mısın Kübra?
Bakalım.
Bu çocuğu stampa ekonomi yapmışlar.
There are always some reasons to rush because some passengers always miss their connection.
Kubra Gençtürk needs a solution for a family who've missed their flight to Boston.
3 kişi aile olarak seyahat ederler ama
Right now, there's no seat on the next flight for their son.
yer açma durumu var mı? Nasıl yapalım?
While Kubra helps one family, Merve convinces the other to accept 2,000 euros compensation and a flight the next day.
Otel istiyor musunuz? Otel. Tabii. Aşağıda yol sonunda sağda Starbucks'ın yanında Hotel Desk departmanımız var.
Hoşçakalın. Okay, buyurun.
For Merve, irate passengers are just part of the job.
If a passengers come into the office, they're gonna shout out. It's 100 of the 100 person it's working like this.
But in the lounge, Kubra's been luckier.
Tamam. Tamam, süper.
A seat has opened up on the next flight to Boston.
Victory. So we find the block seat for them, so it's okay now.
At the mercy of the elements, passenger scheduling and flight delays, solving problems is a constant.
And it's okay now, no problem. He has a confirmed ticket now. Great. Okay? Thank you.
4¼ hours into the flight, and a business class passenger whose wife snuck in from economy has had another visit.
This time his son came to the front. Again, I gave information. Please go back to your seat. They think they can come and visit business class frequently, but this is not right because they may bother other passengers. They know, but they do it. You have to be open-wide.
As there's 3 flight crew and only 2 are needed once George is in control, each of them gets a 3-hour break. Tucked away behind the cockpit is the exclusive pilot's rest area.
Since we were up so early this morning, we're up about 5:30, so I think I might take a little nap and then maybe watch a movie.
While the cabin lights are dimmed, Banu's crew also slink off for a nap.
The half of the cabin is sleeping now. I'm going to show you, but you have to be quiet.
Tucked up near the tail of the plane is the cabin crew's dormitory. When a plane's in the air, it's earning money. When it's on the ground, it's not. Turkish Airlines want arriving planes ready to take off again as soon as possible. But this time, things aren't going to plan.
Yüklemeyi durdurun abi, uçak değişti. Okey, bunların hepsi var. Abi yüklemeyin, uçak değişiyor. Geri boşaltın. İndirin abi. Basma.
Ibrahim Özdemir coordinates these turnarounds.
This is my job. This is my mission.
Ibrahim had this plane ready for boarding when they discovered a problem.
For engine start, aircraft need a APU. When we doesn't work, engine don't start.
Without a working auxiliary power unit, the plane's like a car without a battery. As 150 passengers gather at the gate, Ibrahim needs another plane, and fast.
Sometimes we have a surprise.
Out of nowhere, Ibrahim's day just got a lot more complicated. After a problem with the plane, Ibrahim Özdemir urgently needs another one for a flight to Denmark.
Bundan geliyor. Tamam, gelmiş. Verilmiş o zaman. Sierra 2 o, tamam. Tamam, Sierra 2. Sierra 2.
Now, armed with the information he needs and a later departure slot, Ibrahim's all set for a speedy turnaround.
My aircraft, we waiting aircraft to Sierra 2. This is park position. It's here.
As the handlers load the new plane, it's critical that the baggage is split between the front and rear holds to keep the plane balanced. Otherwise, it could tail strike during takeoff or landing, like on this test footage of a Boeing 747 trying out tail strike protection kit. It's a scenario all airlines strive to avoid. "40 minutes until departure, and the plane still needs to be cleaned."
We have just 12 minutes for cleaning. Yes, 12 minutes, all aircraft. We have 3 minutes.
Ibrahim thinks they'll make it. The flight's 150 passengers have now been delayed for well over an hour.
I will start boarding. Passenger will be coming in
10 minutes.
10-15 minutes
Okay,
later.
no problem. You can start.
I say all persons, passenger services and team leaders and crew. Come on. Just go outside, please go outside. We don't have enough time.
Boarding finally starts, but the plane won't be going anywhere until Ibrahim finishes the paperwork.
All persons working for this. This is very important for aircraft. This is weight and balance document. I will give to captain.
It tells the flight crew precisely how heavy the plane is and how the weight's distributed. With it, they can be sure to get off the ground without tail strike and maximize fuel efficiency. After loading one plane, unloading it, then starting all over again, Ibrahim's now ready for pushback. Despite all of that, it's only 2 hours behind schedule. Safety, not schedules, is always the top priority.
Finished operation, and I will go other flight.
Visa Inspector Murat Ulmez is gratefully having a slow shift. He hasn't spotted anyone trying to travel on dodgy documents. As Istanbul is a gateway to 3 continents, it's unusual.
Normally, we can see suspect case in a day about on the 20 passengers, maybe 30 passengers. Okay, please prepare your passports and boarding passes for the control.
But this flight to Amsterdam might liven things up. The busy Western European hub is a high prospect route.
Thank you.
Murat scans the passengers. His colleague scans their documents. They spot a potential problem. An Italian ID card that looks like a fake. Murat wants to ask the passenger a few questions in Italian.
Ciao. Parli italiano?
Italiano.
Come stai? Parli italiano?
Italiano.
Come stai? Tienes documento o passaporto? Una carta d'identità? Documento carta di serie?
With the gate about to close, Murat's got to make a quick decision.
Come with me, please. Let's go. 28 Charlie.
The man doesn't understand Italian. Murat reckons he's hiding his true nationality. Visa Inspector Murat Ulmez is quizzing a passenger who's trying to travel to Amsterdam on what looks like a fake Italian ID.
Do you speak English? Okay. Why do you travel to Amsterdam?
No, I don't travel.
No, no. Do you know this is there's a problem on your document? There's a problem on your document. Do you have any documents for Italy?
Yes.
What is that? No, are you coming from Cyprus, right? No, this is not enough. I'm asking about your country.
Realizing he's been busted, the man hands over the Syrian passport he's been concealing.
Let's go. We have to go to police officer.
Syrians can't enter the Netherlands without a visa. The man doesn't have one.
You want to travel to Amsterdam with a fake Italian document? We have to go to border police together, and they're gonna keep him.
Stripped of his documents, the man can only wait for his appointment with the authorities. In the baggage hall, King of the Carousels Abdulmenef Özek is due to go off shift. But he still fits in one more language. This time, Japanese.
From where? Kayseri? Kayseri? Do you speak English?
Yes. No.
Speaking Japanese? Anatama Nihonji?
Yes.
Honto? Genki desu ka?
Speak English, Japanese. Mother.
On the final leg of the journey to Brazil, flying chef Aaron Gunkaya is about to spring a surprise on an unsuspecting passenger.
Today we have birthday cake. After all, we are going to be served as a passenger, and we are making a really nice surprise as for birthday. Here's our cake. Our passenger don't have any idea about the celebrating birthday because we take her birthday date from the ticket list.
Even presented with candles.
Now we will see. He's going to be shocked. Başlıyoruz. Şefim ben sen servis. Ben doğru ıslıklı olsun. Nice mutlu yıllar diyorum.
It's all smiles in business class. But back in economy, Figan Bayayena has a bugbear.
I wish I was a barista in Starbucks. Because when you ask for, the coffee and tea orders, people specify in Starbucks, how do you want their coffee? Coffee? How would you like your coffee? Would you like it with milk or just plain or with sugar? How would you like your coffee? With milk and sugar, maybe? Yes, for both? Here, I have to ask the same thing over and over again. Milk and sugar. Milk? And sugar, maybe? Sugar? Nothing. For which one? Sugar? All over the world. For all flight attendants. That's very annoying, and we all wish to be a barista at Starbucks when it comes to that. Would you like some coffee and tea, sir? Nothing at all? Okay, then.
With the final coffees cleared away, after 12.5 hours in the skies, the flight to Brazil is ready to come back to Earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, George and Boys Captain speaking. Shortly we'll be commencing a descent to Sao Paulo International.
With autopilot George now retired from the flight deck, the plane and the passengers are back in the hands of Captain Hakan Turgut.
Altimeters 1023, passing 7,400 now. Checked.
It's never the same as the previous flight. Things happen at a very fast pace, so you need to think quick and you need to assess what's going on around you.
Approaching 09, right.
After traveling a quarter of the way around the world,
500.
it's between Hakan, the 777, and 1.8 miles of asphalt. At 170 miles an hour, precision is critical.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
A textbook landing. Not only has Hakan made up the delay, but he's arrived 25 minutes early.
Ladies and gentlemen and dear kids, please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Way up to the door. As you saw, the weather was all clear. Normally coming into Sao Paulo, especially in the summertime, you get a lot of CBs around. It makes it a little bit difficult to get in. But today was, perfect weather conditions. Couldn't ask for a better approach. Yes?
Other than the occasional invasion into business class, it's been a straightforward flight for Banu and her crew.
It was perfect. There was no problem. My crew was fine. My passengers were happy. And there was no problem.
The praise heaped on Aaron suggests the chefs did pretty well too.
We see the passengers satisfied, and we are feeling really nice.
It's going to be on board.
Of course.
After flying 6,500 miles, the team now get at least 24 hours off before making the return journey. The next 24 hours at Turkish Airlines will bring a whole new set of challenges.